Our next topic in this lesson is socket server and socket client. This is one of the important concept in C++ programming and many other programming languages that two system or two processes talk to each other and exchange messages. So you have heard about two computer talking to each other. So this is how it happens internally. Socket. Through the socket, two processes send data to each other in synchronization. And so that's called TCP, and we are looking at the code. And this is a socket server code. We have a main where we have few calls, few structure we get from the library like a socket and ARPANET and net.inet.h files. And here is the socket definition. Socket addresses is in this one, and inet to A is here, and the port is 8888. Buffer size is 1K, 124 bytes. So it is defined here, buffer, structures, and all. So key here is the function, so the socket that is in the system sys/socket.h. In that, it will open the socket for the local host, and it's a TCP, and it is IP4, inet IP4, there is IPv6, and enable reusing the addresses, and this is another socket option. So it will try to enable the reusing address, useful for quick restart. Thus, not necessarily, this is not necessary, but it's good to have. And now we have the address. The port is there, and our any available interface and IP. And we have that socket created, server FD, and we bind. Binding is where the port, we need to bind that port to the socket. This port is that port we have seen, 8888. We have put in the address. This is here, and we give the server FD. This was written by the socket call. And after binding, we keep listening to the port. This is a blocking call. The server will be listening to the port. And once any request comes, we will see that client side code. Then it will follow through the next step, accept. Accept what? Accept the connection. So a client is requesting a request to connect, and then the server will accept, and it will create a connection, client FD, file descriptor, client file descriptor. The socket client code is here. We see that as well. We'll walk through that. Socket, it will has to create the same way. Socket, you need to create. And here is the thing, it will say connect. There is no binding required for you cannot you don't need to, it doesn't need to have a bind request. Just simply it can connect to the address. It can say the port because it's a local host. So if it is a different server, we need to give the IP address as well. Server IP is a local host here. It is actually IP address you put it. The server runs in this. If it is a different machine altogether, we have to have the correct IP address here. In this case, localhost is 127.0.0.1. And so we give that server IP and the port. So that's where we connect. And so once connect request goes to that server and the port, and the server side, we see the server code. That's where the listening happening. Once it listens, it accepts the connection. And it creates a client file descriptor. And with that, the client will be, after connection is received, client will follow through the code and is telling the client can send some data to the server. So here it is reading user input using get line and from the command prompt and send that socket FD where it is connected. Oh, first it will read before I jumped ahead. Receive the initial greetings from the server. So you are reading that using that socket FD buffer in the buffer. It is an array, and then we are displaying that. And after that, it is in a while loop, it keep reading that. So once you receive something, the client will say, okay, here is what my text. You send it and then wait in the reading again. It will read. And then after reading, it will go to the top of the while loop. Because it's an infinite loop, it will read again. It will display. And here's a buffer displayed, and then you ask the client to type something. And the server side, it is it's reading in the while loop, and then it says received from client, and you compare if it is an exit. Suppose the client says, okay, I'm exiting now. The server also will break this while loop and exit. Otherwise, it will echo the thing that what client has written, and then it will uh, it will take that, echo the message back to the client. So it is sending back to the client. Same buffer it read, and the response we have response here. Server echoes this. So this is how two tasks are communicating. So I have two terminals here. One is for server. We'll run server, socket server, and the other side is socket client. So let's run the server and it will wait for the client to connect. So now it is telling that binding socket, the port number this, listening to the connection, waiting for the client to connect. So here is the server waiting for the client to connect. Waiting for the client to connect here. Yeah, it's listening and listening to the connection, waiting for the client to connect. Is here. So listening is not a blocking one. Okay, accept is blocking one. I think I misspoke. Accept is blocking one. It will wait for any connection acceptance for a request from the client. So we will go to client side now. We'll run that. And connecting to the server connected, hello from the server, and start typing your type exit or quit. So we go to the server side, and I see that connection accepted from this. There's a new is a port coming from the client, and sent a greeting to the client, hello from the server. Same text has gone to the client side, and the client has received hello from the server. Now I type that hello from the client. Once I enter and server received it, so received the text from client, hello from the client, and also it is echoing back. It's here in the while loop, echo back the message which says server echoes whatever we wrote. Okay, server has echoed that, and we will receive in the client side. Client is here, and it says you type this, and server echoed this. And now you want to say, have a great day. It's like a chat window or something that client server communication. Have a great day. And I entered that, and it says server says, have a great day. And in the server side also we see that have a great day is received. And so we in the client side we say we are calling a day. And here, what did I do? I entered actually, I entered here. Oh, Command C, Command Control C. Okay, I exited, and the server is exited too. Client is disconnected and closing connection. We did not write the exit. We'll see, we'll run the exit again. And here it is, connection again. And if we say hello, and server side say hello, server says hello. Now we say exit. If it is exit, it says type exit to quit. Server will quit. Now exiting, closing connection in the server side, received from the client exit, client requested to exit, so closing the connection, we are done. This is how we can build our chat communication between two users, two systems, or two machines. So it can work with Socket.